Hello there. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 update by Heerak. Um, yeah, it's still summer. It's August 5th. You're supposed to be enjoying summer. Um, yeah, I'm excited because I'm done with everything as of Tuesday. My clinical last one was on Tuesday, so I'm finished. Yeah, so I'm out of here. No, Um, yeah, I mean, technically, our end of semester at Georgetown University, end of the summer term is Friday, August 7th. So it's just this week, Friday. But since my last clinical was on Tuesday, that's my last day. No more classes, no more obligations. I've handed everything in. And yeah, so I'm excited. I did well in both classes during summer. So I'm excited. And yeah, so I have a job waiting for me at Virginia Hospital Center. So come to Virginia Hospital Center and then you'll see me and I get to take care of you. You can take me as your nurse. So yeah, so it's exciting for you. I'm excited to help you. Today is actually a National Underwear Day. And some people really got into the spirit of things. We're talking about people walking around in public here. But I guess, underwear is kind of like a bikini, right? So, yeah, but I mean, obviously they're made with different fabric or same fabric, but, there's like a difference. But they look like they're in bikini, but it's actually like underwear. It's a National Underwear Day, so a lot of people got into the spirit of things today. And in certain countries, like England, they get really into it, you know. But yeah, so it's summer. We only have what 30 days of summer left, and then winter's coming. So make sure you enjoy yourself. I mean, winter's going to be horrible, so enjoy your summer. Things are really bad. Um, it's a little bit sad, but yeah, it's 1,159 people died in 24 hours. So we have over 1,000 people dying every day. Um, one of the bad things right now about what's going on is that people who are dying are spread out. You may think that that's better, that here's 30 here and 30 there. Like Virginia had 30 people die, Illinois had 30 people die. Um, you may think this is a good thing, but it really isn't because this means there are enough people dying in Virginia and Illinois to make it serious. And when the flu season comes, there's a base from which a lot of people can die. So it's not a good thing. I guess the worst thing about what's going on right now is that a lot of states are experiencing over 500 cases, over 1,000 cases. Um, a lot of states are experiencing death, like in the two digits, like teens. Some states are experiencing death over 100. And this is summertime. Look at the mariachi music from Mexico. This is the time you're supposed to have fun. Have some burrito and uh, Corona beer from Mexico. Oh yeah, I guess they stopped producing that. So it's supposed to be like a good times, good times. But you just feel like it's playing a sad tune because so many people are dying. It's not getting better. It's summertime, so if people are suffering like this in large numbers in the summer, you can imagine how it's going to be in wintertime. When flu season hits, and there's RSV virus, and there's the cold virus, there's the flu virus, there's strep throat, there's mononucleosis, all kinds of stuff, are going around. Um, so sadly enough, a lot of deaths are coming in the wintertime. Um, yeah, if you're a nurse, you should probably write out a will because a lot of nurses are going to die. Just you know, today is a national day of action for nurses because, nurses are expecting to get COVID, and many nurses are expecting to die. Just because, we're at the front line, so we work 12 hours every shift with, with patients, many of whom who have COVID. Um, yeah, so yeah, nurses are afraid because nurses feel like there aren't enough PPEs, personal protective equipment that can protect them from COVID. So a lot of nurses are very, very afraid. Um, yeah. So today, a lot of nurses, they protested, in over 20 cities. Hopefully, we'll get more PPEs. Obviously, better PPEs, the better. More PPEs, the better. Um, but I'm predicting that at least 10,000 U.S. nurses will die before Christmas 2020, and I think most nurses know that that's not an overestimation, given the fact that during flu season, all kinds of illnesses are perpetrating all over the hospital. Um, and COVID is a crazy virus, so most nurses are expecting probably to get infected. Um, and some of them will die. So I'm predicting 10,000 nurses in the United States alone will die before Christmas. So unfortunately, out of 25 CNL 2024 members who graduated or who are pinned in May, um, I'm predicting like 5 or 10 of us will die. You know, people with like underlying conditions like asthma or peanut allergies. Um, I think it's something that you have to be realistic about. If you're starting out work as a nurse and you have allergies or asthma or a peanut allergy, and you don't think you're gonna die or you have a chance to die, you're probably deluding yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but this is COVID-19. It's a pandemic. There are 1,159 people dying in America every day. So we shouldn't be surprised that many nurses are going to die. It's sad, but I want to say, pin, 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 CNL 2020, pin, 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 2020, Georgetown University, we got pinned in May, yay! Um, we still haven't received our pins. I'm like, what's the deal here? We're pinned in May. We should have received our pins by now. Don't you think? But yeah, Sanya, get our pins for us. Sanya Musa, she's our class rep. She gave a great speech in the pinning ceremony, so I'm really, excited at what she said, and all of us were really moved. And we're all giving a video recording of Zoom session pinning ceremony, so that's something that we can remember for the rest of our lives. And so yeah, I'm excited. My clinicals are over, but I guess my clinical group is going to have like a little party. I'm like, I can't be there because I'm working, So my clinical instructor said, "Oh, don't worry, Heerak, I'll record the whole thing on Zoom and send you a Zoom recording of our, little, after class party." I mean, our clinicals are done in Tuesday, and I'm ready to go to work. So, you know, um, yeah. So she's like, "Yeah, I'll make the recording and send you the recording." So I'm looking forward to seeing the recording. But yeah, I'm transitioning to the next phase of my life as a nurse. So I'm scheduled to start as a nurse on Monday, August 10th, at Virginia Hospital Center. So I'm very excited. Yeah, come by Virginia Hospital Center, say hello. We don't. I mean, yeah, I don't think you should come by and say hello, but if you get sick, come to Virginia Hospital Center. You may see me. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. Our last day of class is August 7th. Um, yeah, so I mean, this week Fridays, everything's over. Basically. Um, yeah, professors have to submit their grade in latest by August 10th, Monday. I mean, they can submit it, now, but the latest, absolute latest time that they have to submit it by is Monday. So everything is done, end of classes is end of school year. So yeah, this Friday everything is over. So yeah, I'm very excited, so I have a, I'll be working at Virginia Hospital Center starting next Monday. So yeah, I'm really excited. Um, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, it's sad though. Obviously, I'm happy to be going there and helping people. Um, people who suffer from health conditions, and I'm sure we'll be taking care of COVID patients because they're going to multiply in large numbers in winter. There's going to be a nurse shortage, PPE shortage. It's going to be a serious problem in the fall. So I'm glad I go in there when the numbers are relatively low. Get my bearings in a new hospital, and then by the time COVID-19 spikes up, we may have like 1,000 cases per day just in Northern Virginia. We may have like dozens or hundreds of people coming into hospital every day. By that time, I'm like, hey, I've been here a few months. So yeah, so yeah, I figure it'll start maybe around October. Um, you know, that we're gonna have like a flood of people coming in with COVID. The numbers are going up now. Virginia has over 1,000 cases generally every day. Sometimes it goes a little bit below 1,000, but around 1,000, but often more than 1,000. We hit 1,500, so I'm sure it's going to keep going up. And eventually, all those cases, a lot of those cases will end up in hospital. Not everybody, but in the winter, it could be everybody, up to 100%. They come to hospital. Um, yeah, so I'm expecting a lot of intense conditions at Virginia Hospital Center this fall. But I'm happy to serve you as a nurse at Virginia Hospital Center. So that's why I'm smiling because I'm happy to be working at Virginia Hospital Center to help you. I've been trained for 2 years at Georgetown University for this, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go there and help you. So I'm very excited. Yeah, look at this. We have 157,930 deaths. Yeah, so that's a lot of deaths. Um, yeah, I mean, if you have 1,000, 100 people die, more than that, sometimes around 1,500. I mean, that's a lot of deaths. If we had the average of 1,500 deaths every year, we're going to have like 500,000 deaths. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, nothing to whistle about, but what can you do? I mean, death is coming. Um, yeah, and it's summer, so hey, this is one to enjoy because winter is going to be living hell for everybody in America. Everything is closed. Movie theaters, restaurants, bars, game rooms. I mean, miniature golf, bowling. Everything is closed in the winter. So enjoy it while you can in the summertime. We have 4,818,328 cases. Um, but when we look at the death in Latin America, it's shocking because for so long they had under like 1,000 cases, 1,000 deaths. And suddenly, like, deaths started exploding in Latin America. Suddenly, it just started like in May. I mean, it's just kind of shocking that it just started so suddenly. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like how suddenly things started in Florida, Texas, and California, the second peak. It was very sudden. Um, and it's going to be like that during winter, during the flu season. All of a sudden, wham, every state's going to be hit with flu season and then COVID-19 spikes. We may have over 100,000 cases per day, easy in flu season. Maybe even 200,000 cases per day. So when we look at the death numbers of Brazil and Latin America, I guess that's where we have to start thinking like that's probably like how it's going to be in flu season. Um, yeah, yeah, it's going to be horrific. I mean, Brazil has like over 1,000 died. They had they had that for like many months. Um, yeah, it's bad. Brazil's a warm spot too, you know. Yeah, so in Latin America, number one cases is Brazil with 2,859,073 cases. Deaths are at 97,256. So my prediction is that California, Florida, and Texas will go to like 100,000 deaths in the next couple months, you know. Um, yeah, even before the flu season, I think it's something that we can expect. Um, but I'm certainly during the flu season, you know, you have a lot of deaths. California, Florida, Texas, they're having like over 200 deaths per day. You know, that means in 10 days you have 2,000 deaths. You know, 20 days you have 4,000 deaths. 30 days you're like 6,000 deaths. I mean, geez, you know? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think it'll be that difficult for California, Texas, and Florida to go to 100,000 deaths. It's sad, but you know, this is a global pandemic. A lot of people get cases. Some of them will get sick, end up in hospital and die. And that's just happening. It's beginning to happen. It's going to start picking up even during summer before the flu season starts. So we're looking at absolutely tragic scenarios for Texas, Florida, and California. It's unavoidable, unfortunately, because they have so many cases, you know. But you know, when the flu season comes, it's going to be worse. Um, I hear like Massachusetts is having a rise in COVID cases. Maybe it's because college students are arriving, you know. But yeah, they're still have like a big spike in cases right now in Massachusetts, in New England state. So I'm sure during this Christmas season, you know, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, they're gonna have far more deaths than they had, you know, the first time around. You know, so I expect New York and New Jersey to break 100,000 deaths over the flu season. Um, I'll be surprised if they don't break 100,000 deaths. I look at Brazil, you know, look at that, you know. Yeah, that's like since May, June, July, you know. It's like summertime. Um, Mexico's the same. It's like it didn't have that many cases, and the suddenly it's just spiking up. Now there's like 50,000 deaths. It's like half of Brazil. Really shocking. I mean, death rate is higher than Brazil. So 449,961 cases, and deaths are at 48,869. Um, yeah, things are kind of tragic over there. Um, yeah, it's absolutely tragic. So yeah, Peru is 439,890 cases. Look at this. Deaths are at 20,007. Death is at 5% rate. Chile is 364,723 cases, and their death is, you know, half of Peru, 9,792. They're dying at 3%. Colombia is, you know, 334,979 cases, and their death is at 11,315. So 3% death rate. Absolutely tragic, you know. I feel bad for Latin America because, you know, a lot of people around here, Virginia State District, we have like 100 nationalities, obviously, but we have a lot of people from Latin America, especially Guatemala, Colombia, Peru. And so, you know, some of these, my neighbors here in Arlington may have relatives who died or friends, you know. Yeah, it's tragic. It's getting worse. And the World Health Organization is saying, you know, this could be forever. Kind of like HIV virus or hepatitis C virus. You know, it's forever. So, you know, theoretically, you know, you could have like 1 billion people die. You know, like 1/4 of the world, that's more than 1 billion, could die from COVID if it's forever, if we don't have vaccine or cure that develops. You know, I'm Heerak, Christian Kim, independent candidate for U.S. Congress and Virginia State District. And I don't believe that there will be an effective vaccine. I hope there will be. I'll be very happy if we discover a working vaccine. But I'm realistic about this. I mean, if vaccine sciences were so advanced, we should have a vaccine for HIV right now, or hepatitis C virus right now, or herpes virus. We don't have that. So, um, or even common cold virus. We don't have a, you know, we don't have a vaccine for that. Um, so yeah, I'm realistic about this. I think the probability that we won't have a working vaccine is much higher. So I don't think it's a good idea to count on it. I think it's better for America and Americans to transition into a reality that adapts to COVID-19 America. And obviously, Latin America needs to do this too. So, what I'm encouraging is that you socialize with your family unit, meaning try to work at home, try to have your student children from pre-K to college study at home online, and socialize just among yourselves and your family. Get board games, at least at a physical level. I mean, you could always, talk to people on Zoom, have fun on Zoom, or phone or internet, or chat, or Skype, or FaceTime. I mean, there are things you can still do, but in terms of physically spending time together, it's probably safest if you do it just with your family members. Obviously, danger increases if anybody in your family spends a lot of time outside. Like if your parents work somewhere outside, that increases chances that COVID can come into the home. Or if children study it outside, like go to school outside. So there's always this danger, and that's the scariest thing about COVID. It can enter your home from anywhere, as long as you have contact with other people. This is people to people transmission, right? So the more people you talk to, the more chance you're going to get it. And so it's like a little bit of a worrisome thing, and yeah. So I have some photos here. I've shared some photos from National Council of Teachers of English a few days ago, but I thought I would share more photos. I have one photo that I shared then that I have here now. It's like the photo with 3 new friends that I made from Texas, who graduated from University of Texas, Austin, with Bachelor of Education degree. And they all went to different school districts to teach. Like, I think one's teaching at Austin Independent School District, another one is teaching at like Dallas, one is at Houston. So they're like friends. All 3 of them graduated from the same program. They're all really nice. So I'm standing next to Beatrice, and she's really really nice and friendly. One of the nicest persons I've met. I'm sure her students will love her. Um, I was looking forward to seeing them. National Council of English Teachers of English. That's basically professional organization for teachers from pre-kindergarten all the way to university professors. What we call pre-K to 16, because 12th grade you graduate from high school. Then 4 years of bachelor is like 13, 14, 15, 16th grade. So we say pre-K to 16. So, professors from colleges come, and, like I'm standing next to the president of National Council of Teachers of English. She's from Iowa. So, yeah, she looks very Iowan, right? Blonde hair, blue eyes, Dutch. She's a professor at Dordt College in Iowa, which is a Dutch college, Dutch Reformed Church college. A lot of colleges in America are affiliated with the Christian church. Like I'm at Georgetown University, and Georgetown University is a Catholic university, so it holds to the Catholic value system. Like it's against gay marriage, it's against abortion, because it's a Catholic university. And so it makes sense. And Dordt College is like that. It's a Christian university that are against gay marriage, against abortion. And many colleges are very Christian oriented. So it's just part of who we are as a country. And Georgetown University is run by Catholics. It's owned by Catholic Church. It's run by Catholics predominantly, right? So it respects Catholic value system, Christian value system, and it makes sense. Obviously, uh, if it's a Catholic school, it should hold to the values of the Catholic Church. I mean, so I think it's good that Georgetown University is against abortion and gay marriage as an official thing as a Catholic university. It's a good thing. I mean, because Bible is very emphatic about saying, marriage should be between one man and one woman. That's the Christian position. That's the position of 1 billion Catholics around the world, and 1 billion Protestants, around the world, and Orthodox Christians. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not something new. It's been there for 2,000 years. Um, so obviously, wherever you go, out of the 4 million people who are nurses in America, over 300, 500 million of them are against gay marriage and against abortion, because, they're all tied to the church, right? They're believing Christians, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, majority of them. So you shouldn't be surprised that majority of 4 million nurses are going to be against abortion, but against gay marriage. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised at that. Same with teachers too. Majority of the teachers in America are against abortion and against gay marriage. A lot of them voted for President Trump. Um, you can't avoid this because people are people, and their perception of value, their perception of who they are, what they believe. This doesn't come from like nursing or education, right? It comes from your church. It comes from the Bible. You know, Nursing is what you do. Teacher is what you do. That's not who you are, really. Who you are is like you're a Christian, you're a mother, you're a wife. So you must not confuse your job for your identity, right? I mean, you are a nurse in the sense that you do nursing. You work at a hospital. But it's not like your primary identity is that you're a nurse. Your primary identity is that you're a person who happens to do nursing as work. It's work. It's work. You go work. You make money. You use that money to do things you like. Take a vacation. Eat the food you like. Feed your children. Pay rent. Right? Nursing is not like your identity. It's not an existential identity. It's just a job. So for more 4 million nurses, that's how nurses treat nursing. They don't see it as an identity. They see it as a job. It's something they do to pay their rent. Pay their bills, raise their kids. I mean, out of the 4 million, I'm sure majority do not. Oh, I'm a nurse. That's who only thing who I am. They don't do that. Neither will teachers. Beatrice is a wonderful Christian woman. All three of them are good Christian women. Their identity is not that they're a teacher. That's not their primary identity. I mean, it's important for them. They like being a teacher, but it's a job. You're a teacher, you make money. You buy clothes, you buy food, you go to restaurants. COVID-19 era, you may not go to restaurants, but you could take out food, eat at home. You take a vacation in COVID-19 era, you may not take a vacation, but you could go to the beach, right? And have fun. Your local beach, like Virginia Beach or Ocean City. Yeah, but teachers don't take being a teacher that seriously, right? For them, it's what they do for a job. It's not who they are. But there are gung ho nurses and gung ho teachers who think like being a teacher is like an identity. Being a nurse is like an identity, like overarching identity or all-encompassing identity, and that's just not true. Normal people don't think like that. Only like weirdos, what I call weirdos, weirdo nurses and weirdo teachers. They're like, "Ooh, I'm a teacher," and they're all serious about it. And being a teacher is X, Y, and Z. And it's like it's a little weird, But there's going to be weirdo in every profession. It's like, man, get a life, man. I mean, you're a teacher, yeah, but I mean, geez, you're so much more than that. Don't box yourself into a box and say, I'm a teacher. That's all who I am. Like you're putting yourself in a box. I mean, that's not healthy mentally. Same with nurses. There are these gung-ho nurses. I'm a nurse, and that's the most important identity for me, and blah 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 blah. It's like they think like there's no reality outside of being a nurse. I'm like, no. I mean, geez, that's not mentally healthy. Life is so much more than your job. Life is so much more than your profession. So, geez, get a life. Get a life. Can I get a 5 on that? Can I get a 5 from the nurses? 4 million nurses. Nursing is just a job. It gets you stuff. And you help people, you enjoy helping people, but it's still just a job. Obviously, you do your job well, but it's just a job. It pays the bills, pays the rent. But that's not your fundamental identity that you're a nurse. Your fundamental identity is that you're a Christian, you're a wife, you're a mother. These are fundamental identities, right? That gives you joy. Yeah, so give me a 5. Give me a 5. Yeah, so, yeah, I've been a teacher a long time, in the public school system. And, I meet teachers, I would say 99% of the teachers are like, it's just a job. They want to do good, they do want to do their job well, but, it's not that important of an identity for them. But there are these like weirdo freaks, who are like, ooh, being a nurse means X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. They're like little weirdos. And they're weirdos in teaching profession, and they're weirdos in nursing profession. 98% of nurses are kind of healthy. They see nursing as a job, but there are always going to be weirdos in every profession, right? So don't be a weirdo. Can I get a 5 on that? Can I get a 5? Yeah. Um, I took a photo with an author. One of the fun things about NCT, National Council of Teachers of English conferences, is all the writers come, and all these great writers come, so you get to meet them. You can become friends. You can go out for dinner. You can do all kind of stuff. And they're really nice. So I really enjoyed spending time with like authors. And you make new friends. There are a lot of interesting people at NCT conference because it's about literature, it's about writing, creative writing. So I would say it has a lot of interesting people. And then you have writers who are not teachers come because they're still kind of part of NCTE. Some of them were teachers and became professional writers. Some of them were writers who became teachers. It's kind of interesting phenomenon. Some are just writers. That's what they do. But they want to talk to teachers, so they get involved in NCTE. But our conference was supposed to be in Denver, Colorado in November, and it was canceled. It's not canceled per se. The conference in Denver, Colorado is canceled because they're using the convention center for COVID-19 patients. Yes, it's very real. Like the only reason they canceled our conference is because they have to use the convention center and the hotels around there for first responders and COVID-19 patients. Yeah, so it's reality. It's happening in Denver as well. It's not just New York or Florida, Texas, and California. And they're anticipating a big spike in November. This is the flu season. So it makes sense. I'm sure every one of the beds will be full during the flu season over there in Denver. Yeah, so the conference is going to be 100% online. So we're looking at this reality for the foreseeable future, not just for fall 2020, but spring 2021, summer 2021, fall 2021, winter 2020, so on and so on, right? This is our new real. This is COVID-19 America. You go COVID, you never go back. Yeah. I'm sure COVID is having a party right now because of that. Harry's like looking at the screen. What are you looking at, Harry? Oh, Harry's a boy. What can you say? um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think you need to accept the fact that things are not going to get better with COVID, but you need to make the best out of it. So yes, it's not going to get better, and it will get worse, especially during flu season. Uh, but you have to roll with the punches, meaning a lot of people are going to die, and you may die. There's high chance you will die if you're like over 60, and if you have like pre-existing conditions, there's a very high likelihood you die in the flu season. So this may be the last Christmas, you may see. You may even not get there. Um, and just put life in perspective. When COVID-19 isn't there, you could live to 100, but now you cannot. COVID-19 is here. Um, a lot of older people will die during the flu season, like we saw in New York, but that's going to happen everywhere in America. Because if you remember, March to May, COVID wasn't that big in most other parts of America, just like in New York and New Jersey. But now it's big everywhere. So this flu season, you're going to have like New York conditions in every major city, like Denver, Colorado, yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan. It was kind of bad first time around too, but Chicago, Illinois, you know, St. Paul, Minneapolis, uh, you know, everywhere is going to be horrific this flu season. I'm predicting that 1 million people will die per month um, during the flu season. So there's going to be a lot of deaths. There's going to be a lot of deaths. Um, I won't be surprised if we have like 10 million dead by next year, like March. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I hope it won't happen, but I wouldn't be surprised because, as I said, the biggest problem with this COVID-19 is that they're spread out. It's happening in all 50 states. That's the most worrisome thing about current situation. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So when the flu season hits, everywhere is going to see a big spike up, and you won't be able to breathe because there will be so many COVID-19 patients coming into the hospital. They'll be dropping dead left and right during winter. It's not summertime. During wintertime, they're going to be dropping dead left and right. And nurses are going to get sick, and they're going to be dying too. Um, yeah, so we're looking at a nightmare scenario in winter, and we may see that even before November 3rd election. Don't forget to vote for me. I'm running for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District. I'm running as an independent here at Christian Kim. So make sure you look up for my name on the ballot and vote for me. Yeah. As you know, I filed a lawsuit against Virginia Governor Northam, Virginia Board of Elections, because they closed down Virginia from March 30th to June 10th, and I had to submit like 1,000 signatures by June 9th. So I couldn't submit it. So I said, give me a waiver. I wrote to a Virginia Board of Election, and they said, we don't have the authority to do that. So Chip Piper, who's the commissioner of Virginia Board of Elections, said he doesn't have the authority to do that. I mean, Governor Northam does. So I wrote to him. He never wrote back. So I ended up filing a lawsuit like on June 3rd, 2020. And the lawsuit is there. I guess the trial will be set for like September. That's what the clerk of, Arlington Circuit Court said. Yeah, so, I guess it's summertime, I don't know what the schedules are like and with COVID-19. So, we're following the schedule, obviously, of the court system. But yeah, my name should be on the ballot by November 3rd. So yeah, just make sure you vote for me. Write me in, Obviously, if you're doing an absentee ballot, like really early, I mean, it should be on there, but if it's not, just write my name in. Heerak Christian Kim. Then they count it, yeah, just write my name in, if you don't see my name. And make sure you find the spelling, Heerak Christian Kim. Heerak, Christian Kim, independent candidate for U.S. Congress, is right there, man. Yeah, and yeah, you'll be lucky if I win and become a U.S. congressman. If I don't win, I'll just continue working at Virginia Hospital Center as a nurse. I'm doing good for my district and you people. I'm trying to help you guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, if I win, I could do far more good because I could do things nationally to help America. And America needs help right now. Things are really bad. And don't fool yourself. Don't think like few people are going to die in winter. It's not going to be like that. What happened to New York will happen in every city. Every city will experience what New York experienced. Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. Like every major city will experience exactly what New York experienced. Every city, every single one. So you can see what kind of nightmare scenario we're going to have. Once it hits, you're going to be busy. You're going to be like dazed and confused. You won't know what to do. That's why I'm saying prepare now. Because once it hits, it's like Brazil, like it hit and then 1,000 people start dying every day. They didn't know what hit them. And, they're still like dazed and confused, and it's going to be far worse in America. In some states, you're going to have like 1,000 people dying in every major city, like Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. You could have like 1,000 dying. So 3,000 just between those three cities. That could happen in flu season. Yeah, so like in Ohio, it could be Cincinnati and Cleveland. You could have 1,000 people dying in each city, 2,000. Yeah, I mean, how are you going to be able to like turn that out? How are you going to put that fire out? Like, we basically only had New York. I mean, our whole country was focused on New York. We sent like thousands of nurses to New York, but that's not going to be the scenario this winter. Every city will be experiencing that. Every city will have shortage of nurses. Every city will have shortage of PPE. You can't, it's going to be happening everywhere in America, every major city. Do you see why I'm saying 1 million people are going to die per month? I mean, that's possible. Do you see what I'm saying? Just imagine New York happening in every city. Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Denver, Aspen is not that big of a city, but Phoenix, just think of every major city in America. That's what's going to happen. Salt Lake, Utah, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Harrisburg is not that big, but yeah, so that's coming. In Virginia, like Virginia's 8th district is going to get clobbered because we're near DC. A lot of people are going to die here. And that's why I'm saying practice socializing according to your family unit. The less you socialize with people outside of your family unit, the better. Better chance you're going to survive this winter. If you can hanker down and socialize this with your family members, and you like socializing with other people, there's a high chance you will die. You'll get COVID and die. So, let's see what happens. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm rarely wrong because I'm the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. I look at all the expertise I have, in Jewish studies, as a historian, as a clinical nurse leader. I'm graduating in August. In the field of education, I have 4.0 master's in education degree from University of West Georgia, which is a great school in reading instruction. Look at all the expertise I have, and so yeah, so you're lucky that I created this show, COVID-19 Update by Heerak, to give you help and guidance, right? Probably no one told you that it's possible for 1 million people to die this winter. I'm telling you to help you prepare. Right, remember, I've been saying from May, before May even, that Virginia's 8th District public schools should all close down and prepare for online education. I said we should spend like June, July, August preparing for online education. That's going to be excellent. I mean, watch my previous shows. I say that all the time. Because you can have a quality educational program 100% online, but you got to prepare that. It doesn't just drop from heaven. It's not like manna from heaven, right? So I've been encouraging everybody to just kind of prepare for online learning. Um, you know, obviously they didn't listen. I mean, they closed, which is a good thing because you get to save lives. But had they start preparing from June, the curriculum would be so much better. But anyway, everything is 2020 hindsight, right? Yeah. Um, yeah, I have like 3 articles that are relevant for right now that you should think about, especially because we're getting ready to enter flu season, which is going to be like hell on earth with a lot of people dying. So my title is COVID-19 spreads through schools to infect students, teachers, staff all over America. Yeah, I mean, it started with schools that opened. First article, over 100 students quarantined in Mississippi school district after several individuals tested positive for COVID-19. It's on CNN, May 5th, Jamie O. Lynch. And the relevant quote from that is several students in the Corinth school district, and the school bus from Corinth, in Mississippi have been infected with COVID-19 a little over a week after in-person class resumed. Yeah, like in 1 week. All those infections, and they're going to continue because now they're going to spread. So you won't be able to stop it by the flu season. You're going to have a horrific number of infected people because it spreads like outward. It's like a wave. Yeah. Um, Second article is 260 employees of largest school district in Georgia have tested positive for coronavirus or are in quarantine. 260 employees. And that's from like a couple of days ago, Forbes by Tommy Beer. And I thought it was relevant. So I thought I would bring this in because that's something that you can expect for school districts that open. So yeah, the quote is Georgia's Gwinnett County Public Schools school teachers began in-person pre-planning. This is just a pre-planning stage last Wednesday because generally I'm a public school teacher, so and I teach at Savoy Elementary School. That's what I did before I started a 2-year intensive CNL program at Georgetown University. CNL, we got pins. CNL. I'm so excited because I'm done. I am done with this program. I'm out of here. I am out of here. Yes, I'm gonna head into my my works. I'm excited. Yeah, but you should apply to Georgetown University if you want to be a great clinical nurse leader. It's an excellent program. I highly recommend it. It's very hard, so you got to be prepared for very difficult 2 years. But if you're ready for that, it's a great program. So I'm done. I'm out of here. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, it's a very difficult program. But yeah, so yeah, so I mean, you can be trained to help COVID-19 patients, and solve the healthcare problems of today. That's what we're trained to do. Yeah, but when I was before starting at Georgetown, I taught full time at Savoy Elementary School 5th graders. And every school year before we start, we are like there for 1 week with our pre-training. That's like a standard thing. All the school districts do it. So I guess Gwinnett County Public Schools, they did that. And they had 260 employees getting COVID or, being exposed to it, so they have to isolate. Yeah, I mean, this is how it's going to be. As I said, we are living in a COVID-19 America, and it's just a smarter thing to do to face this reality and say we're going to just have 100% online learning, and we're going to transition work to being at home, not in an office building, and then socialize under the family unit. That's the safest way, especially as we head toward the flu season. because we have like over 1,000 people dying right now. So this is a serious, crazy problem. It's not going to go away, right? It's going to just spread. So people who are going to survive are people who are hunkering down, isolating themselves, in their family units. Um, Third article, New York teachers unions drop new demands list. Like they drop all these demands. One thing they want is they want schools closed over a single COVID case. So if there's one person getting COVID, they want the school closed to close for 14 days because they don't want to die. A lot of teachers that want to die, right? Jeez. Oh my gosh. I mean, nursing is the most dangerous profession because you're at close range with the patients, taking care of them. But the second, probably the most dangerous profession is if you're a teacher who has to teach in person. Like if you do 100% online teaching, there's no danger there. You're not going to die. But if you have to be in person, that's probably the second most dangerous job. Yeah, so a lot of teachers are expected to die. I think teachers know it. They're educated people. They know. I mean, even if you're not educated, you know you're going to die if you get COVID, right? If you're fat or have pre-existing condition like asthma or peanut allergy. Yeah. So this is an NBC 4 news by staff today. And the relevant quote is, the final decision on state school openings rests with Governor Andrew Cuomo. He has pledged to make an overarching determination this week. So as you know, Chicago, the third largest public school district in America, said they're going to go 100% online. They made that announcement today. It's a wise announcement. I hope New York will go 100% online because they're going to have far more die this year around than last year, or not last year, a few months ago. So I hope Governor Cuomo will do the right thing and just go 100% online to start. And what are you going to close down for 14 days every time one person gets COVID? You know how disruptive that is to education? It's better to just go 100% online, have a regimen, schedule, and systematic curriculum. That's much more beneficial for the kids, for the teachers. Kids will learn far more that way than this crazy system of meeting and then you have to go online, you have to quarantine, just too crazy. It's disruptive, 14 days, no school. What are you going to do? I mean, it ruins the scheduling. You know what I mean? Like if you have parents who are working or something, what are you going to do for 14 days? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have elementary kids, are you going to stay with your kids for 14 days? It's better to start out knowing what you can expect. You know what I mean? And when you make an arrangement, that can last for the whole school year. But if there's one case, you're going to close down for 14 days. Then a couple of weeks of school, one case, close down for 14 days. What are you going to take off from work for 14 days every time that happens? Yeah, I mean, if you know what you need to do, you make arrangements. It's hard to come up with a sudden help. When school suddenly closes, quarantines for 14 days. You know what I'm saying? It's harder to plan for that. Yeah, I'm Heerak Christian Kim, independent candidate for U.S. Congress of Virginia's 8th District. And I created this show to save you and save your children from COVID-19 and from other things that are happening. I'm here to give you guidance, information, and knowledge so you know what to expect so you can plan for it, right? Because planning makes all the difference. If you plan for certain things, you're more likely to survive it than if you don't plan for something. So I'm saying plan for the flu season because there's high chance a lot of people are going to die. As I said, Heerak Christian Kim, independent candidate for Virginia's 8th District, predict 1 million people to die every month in flu season. And I don't think that's a high exaggeration because, as I said, every major city in America is going to become like New York. So I think, logically speaking, we could have 1 million die a month. Because there are a lot of cities in America. Every state has a major city, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's logical. So, we will have states that have like hundreds of thousands of deaths. We have 50 states. Think about that. If we have 100,000 deaths per state, and there are 50 states, you're going to have 5 million people die. You see what I'm saying? You can easily have 1 million people die per month. And all I'm saying is prepare. The smartest thing to do is hunker down, start habituating your family to socialize along the family unit, play board games, pray to God, read the Bible together, have a curriculum. Uh, if you're parents, you may want to create some kind of, work schedule, study schedule. Invest in like an exercise bike and treadmill, so all your family members can do daily exercise on those. So you just have to hunker down inside your home and find a way to create a system that is safe, right? So yeah, so I hope that you survive, and there's a high chance that you may die, but I hope you survive. That's why I created this show, right? I want you to survive. It's a daily show, so check back tomorrow as well. I'll bring you more information on how to survive. It is summer, so I encourage you to go out and have fun. Like those ladies behind me, have fun. Go to the beach. Make sure you keep 6 feet social distancing. And it's harder to get COVID outside as long as you're not talking to other people. Wearing a mask when you're around people. Try to be like over 6 feet away from other people. Just have fun. Go to the beach. Get yourself tanned. Throw the beach ball around with your kid. Have fun. Because as I said, winter is coming, and you're not going to be able to have any fun. No fun this winter. So you have to show your children love now. I mean, you should show your children love every day, every second, but you have to have some fun experiences you could talk about during winter time when it's cold and dreary outside. Well, if you're in like Texas, Florida, California, I guess it's not like that. But for most of other parts of America, it was like that during winter, right? So yeah. But even in California, Texas, and Florida, a lot of things will be closed in the wintertime. So it's going to be pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. So hunker down. Yeah. So think about the things that I've said. And prepare your family and children. Talk to your children honestly about what COVID-19 is, what may be coming in the winter, what they need to do as a family to survive. You're like a captain of your ship. You need to steer your ship to safety. You need to prepare your kids, create a regimen, chores for your family members. You know, think of ways to help them, and think of ways to run your household in a way where there's productivity, there's growth, and there's growing of love among the family members. Yeah, I mean, you can't be lazy at this time if you're a parent. If you have college age children at home, or any kind of children at home, you need to really create like a schedule to help them and help you, help your family. And obviously, have Bible as the guide, because Bible is the truth that can give you guidance. So follow the Bible, Bible's morality, Bible's instruction, read Bible together as a family. Yeah, morality is important for the family. It's important for the country, important for the city. It's important for the county and the state. Bible is the answer to everything. So read your Bible. Yeah. So yeah, I want you to survive COVID. It's going to be hard, but let's try to reduce the deaths. And reducing the death means, like, if you can be careful with your family and protect your family so your family survives, then obviously death will be reduced because you're being responsible family members, right? Yeah, so be responsible family members and talk to your children about COVID, because they need to know what's coming. It's going to be horrific in the fall, in the winter. So and get your flu shot. Every one of you should get your flu shot, even though you may get flu. Because you get flu even though you have flu shot. But yeah, get flu shot. You know, all the vaccination. Get all the vaccinations. Yeah. So just try to prepare for this COVID flu season that's coming, where there's going to be a lot of deaths. Yeah, you should expect it. I mean, if it doesn't happen, great. But you know, from a scientific angle, it's coming, so you should prepare. Well, I hope that your family will be well and that your children will be well too. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.